Hello, well today I'm going to talk about cutting circles in leather. And there are a few sort of instances where you may want to cut a perfect circle, and it'll be things like making coasters. If for example you're wanting to tool or carve little coasters, then you need a perfect circle. Other things will be things like washers, because if you go back in time, a lot of pumps and what have you had leather washers. And I do from time to time get asked, can I make a washer for a garden pump or something like that? And you can make nice ones out of leather, but you do need to cut a perfect circle. Now, the traditional way of cutting leather circles was to use one of these tools, and it's basically a very sharp cutter and a point, and then this one, it's got a brace and bit top end, and the idea is you set your point in the middle and you cut, and that will cut out things like a washer as they would have been done for lavatory systems. So there you are. That's a traditional one, and you can obviously adjust the sort of opening and closing of this one. One drawback of this particular method is that the point leaves a point mark in your piece of finished leather. And this brings me on to a more recent innovation, and a rather clever one. And that's the NT circle cutter. I'll give you a close view and say a bit more about it. Well, here's a closer view of the NT circle cutter, and it's quite a cleverly made little device, because underneath just there is a very sharp knife, very tiny but sharp knife. And the idea is, it's a bit like a compass. There's a beam here which you can swing in or out, and it actually goes from just under a couple of centimetres up to 17 centimetres, so you can get quite a good diameter circle out of it. And you lock the beam with a little centre like thumb screw. When you're using it, the beauty of this is there's no like centre point that you'd get with a compass type cutter, because it's just a flat pad. So if you're doing something like a wine or beer coaster, you've got yourself a flat pad that sits on the leather, and the idea then is you hold it at the top and you rotate this outer collar. So that's the outer collar. I actually need to show you this on a bit of leather. If you can imagine that being on a bit of leather, you rotate that and the cutter turns and cuts you a circle. It takes a little bit of sort of setting up for your thickness of leather and what have you, but it does do a very nice accurate circle, and you can obviously cut circles in circles, so you can produce like donut rings if you want to. Comes with a few extra blades, and they're stored in a little thing underneath. I have stropped this blade. They come pretty sharp, but you can get them even sharper if you strop them. This particular one is the NT 1500 or C-1500P. So that's C-1500P. But I think there are a couple of other variants they do. This seems a nicely made unit. Let's set it to work. So the first thing to do is to set your circle diameter. So I've loosening the little collar, and there's actually a graduated scale on this slider bar. So I'm going to set that at 8. So that gives me a total diameter of 8 centimetres. And then all you do is you place this down wherever you want the centre of your circle. Put your finger on the top, and then with even sort of pressure, rotate. I'm sorry, my hands are going to be a bit in the way for this, but what I'm doing is I am rotating the cutter. And I'm just taking it round slowly and gradually to make a cut. Now this is quite a hard bit of leather, so I may need to take a couple of passes. I think actually that has done it in the one pass. And there you have it. One perfect hole and one perfect circle. and that will be 8 centimeters diameter. So, nifty bit of kit. It does also come with a centre gauge to help you find the centre of a circle. So if, for example, I wanted to find the centre of this circle, I'd line my item up on this gauge, and then the idea is you slide the cutter base into this groove, set your diameter, and you can cut, and you'll know you'll get a nice even, in this case like a donut, out of it. But yeah, if you want to make a circular box sometime, or cut some washers, or make some coasters, the NT circle cutter isn't a bad option. Just to show you how this centre finder works, what I'm going to do now, I'm put my 8 centimeter circle back in its hole. I'm going to find the centre of it using the centre finder. So you just line it up over the top of it. You can see through it, so you can see where the original cut line is. Then I've set my circle cutter to hopefully get a 1 centimeter ring. So I take that bottom boss, I'm just wiggling there, and I put it in the centre of this finder, and I just press it down. I can then slide out the centre finder, and then I'll rotate and cut. So I'm just cutting another circle now, all the way around, and if I've been successful in finding the centre, it will look a reasonably even circle. It's cut through. I'm just going through one more time just to make sure I've not left bits not cut. I think we're okay. I'll lift out and extract. So what I've got now is a circle in a circle. There you are. So it just shows you how the centre finder works, and the fact that it actually works quite well. So there you are. You can make your own set of Olympic rings if you wanted to. I don't know, probably think of something one could do with things like that. Well, I've got a round leather box to make, so that will actually be quite a useful tool for that one. Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and bye bye for now.